Subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get the latest updates.
Hello and welcome to The Print. I'm Anisha Bedi, and joining me today is the Delhi Minority Commission Chief, Zafarul Islam Khan, who of course has been at the center of a controversy after he was booked by the Delhi police for sedition on April 30th. In fact, as we speak to him today itself, a Delhi High Court has granted him interim protection till June 22nd. Firstly, thank you so much for speaking to us, sir, and welcome to The Print.
Thank you.
Sir, first things first, are you relieved now that you moved court for anticipatory bail on 6th May, and exactly a week later the court has taken cognizance and granted you interim relief? So, do you feel slightly better at the moment?
No, I was always better. I am not afraid of these things. But this relief is only because the police came in big numbers, 50 people, around 50 people, 10 cars, and they surrounded my house. And they stayed here for 2 hours trying to convince me to come with them. I asked them to show me a written order. They had no written orders. Then a lot of people, hundreds of people gathered here. I did not call them, but they just came. When they knew that this is happening, they came. And then after 2 hours of trying to convince me to go with them, they were claiming that it's for your own good. I know it's not for my good. So I refused. I said, you should bring a written order, then I will come with you. Then they told me that you come after 2 days. But I did not go. Then they phoned me, why you have not come? I said, you have not served any written notice. So next day they sent a written notice, not for me, but asking for the device which I have used for my tweet. That is, they wrote, your mobile or your laptop. But I complied with that. Next day I deposited my laptop, but I said in my reply that I am doing it under duress because there is no point in my depositing my laptop with you, because the laptop is not does not contain the tweets. Tweets are there on the Twitter handle, and the Facebook is there on the Facebook page, not here. But still, since you are demanding it, I have given them my laptop. But since they had come here in great numbers, I was apprehensive that they will come again and use force to take me to their center. So I moved this anticipatory bail petition, which was accepted today. I always knew that there is nothing in this case. What I have done.
I was coming to that. In fact, since you mentioned that they had come outside your place, gathered in large numbers, and summoned you, if you could just elaborate and reiterate for our viewers out here in terms of how did this entire thing begin? It was about a tweet that you had put out on your professional Twitter handle. If you could just elaborate that once again for our viewers, sir.
You see, it just happened that after the riots, or rather violence, in Northeast District, there was a lot of media attention about this all over the world, especially because these idiots who started that, they did it while a great official visit, a state visit was taking here. Mr. Trump, who is the president of the mightiest country in this world today, he was present here and staying just 6 kilometers away from where this was happening. So these people who ignited it, they planned it, they did it, they made the whole world know about these tactics that they have been doing. I mean, in Gujarat and in so many other places. So this was their mistake, that they made the world aware about these things which were happening, and were so shamelessly happening during a state visit of this kind. The whole media was here, and instead of covering Mr. Trump's visit, they went to the Northeast District to see how Muslims were being killed, how Muslim houses were being burnt and blasted, how mosques, at least around 19 or 21 mosques were blasted. So all this became known around the world. And many people, American president himself, State Department, their commission, Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, so many. Also in the Arab world, they took notice of this Organization of Islamic Conference, which is kind of mini Islamic United Nations. It has a membership of 58 countries, which said we are Islamic or Muslim. So they also, the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, they condemned what has happened here in India to Muslims. And then many countries also. One of them was Kuwait, which officially, through a resolution passed in their Council of Ministers, that is in their cabinet, they condemned this, and they asked their foreign minister to take up this matter with the world community and also with the Organization of Islamic Conference to see that this persecution which is happening to Indian Muslims that does not happen or does not continue or is not repeated. So when I saw this letter of the Kuwaiti Council of Ministers to the foreign minister, I said that I should thank them. I just forgot that our country was at that time reeling under COVID lockdown and all that. I should not have, and I later said that it was insensitive, it was ill-timed. I said this, and I still today say that my tweet was ill-timed. I thanked Kuwait in that tweet. I elaborated the reason why Arab countries take interest in Indian Muslims, because we have a very long history, hundreds of years of scholarship, of writing very important books which are still relevant in the Arab countries, and also our architecture, our music, and this and that. So that is the reason why they take a lot of interest. That was in context, just to show you that we are Indian Muslims are not like Rohingyas or like Chinese Muslims. We have our standing, our history, our civilization, our culture, which is very well respected all over the Muslim world.
Yes. So I would just like to come in at this point. Clearly, the tweet and your posts on social media weren't taken very well. The FIR says that these were provocative remarks. I know you've been saying that on the one hand that perhaps it was ill-timed on your part, given that we're in the middle of a pandemic, but you stand by your tweet. So
yes,
could you tell us which of the two is it, or you stand by your tweet, but only you regret the timing of it?
I have apologized for the timing, and also maybe for the insensitive way that I said it. I am a writer. I've been writing for the last 50 years. This is my profession. I'm a journalist actually. So I realized later that it was ill-timed, it was insensitive. So I apologize to people who were hurt by this without any condition, anything. But the main message there is that hate mongers, the purveyors of hate politics in India, I'm against that. And I said that in my second tweet, that I still stand by my main idea behind the tweet, that people who purvey hate, who do hate politics, and they are people responsible for riots, for lynchings, things like that. And these people these are the people who bring bad name to our country. Not my tweet. Tweet is very innocuous, it is harmless, it has no meaning actually. But the people who are doing this, like Kapil Mishra, who started all this, they are going there and threatening them. And this minister who went there and said, Goli maro salon ko. And now after the tweet, they have been issuing threats to me, to kill me, to throw me into Pakistan, to cut me into pieces, to kill my children in front of me. So many things. But nothing will happen to them because these people are protected. But when...
Sorry. Yes. That's what I was coming to, right? After this, as you mentioned, that perhaps these people are protected. And yes. I feel it might be significant to bring about that they are being protected by, someone out there. You, for one, are also, the chief of a commission which represents the minorities, the Delhi Minorities Commission. Yes. Of course, what you put out there, as you have mentioned earlier, was in personal capacity, if I might add. Do you think that it was difficult to draw the line between the two? Because A lot of people have been attacking you, saying that how could the Delhi Minority Commission chief put out a tweet like that?
Yes, I understand this. I understand this because you see, being a writer myself and a journalist myself, I forgot for a few minutes that I was also head of a statutory body, and in that position, I should not have said this. But normally, I have been saying this all last 30 years. I've been saying this, writing this in my own newspaper, the Milli Gazette. In every single issue, you will find these things because this is happening. If lynchings are happening, I have to speak. If riots are taking place, I have to speak. If mosques are being attacked, I have to speak. So this is and I will continue to do that. But I accept that in that position, perhaps I should not have said it. And that's why I apologize for not just being ill-timed, but also being insensitive.
We also know that since March, there have been constant physical attacks, as well as verbal attacks against Muslims in India. The recent, of course, being blaming them for the COVID pandemic, and I'm referring to the Tablighi Jamaat community as well. Anything you'd like to say on that front?
Yes, of course. This also some people. I can't name them here. Some people did not like it because I intervened at once when they started talking about Tablighi people spreading this, Tablighi people hiding in the other people were not hiding. They were just stranded, but Tablighis were hiding, and that they were doing it on purpose. Nobody in the world, I think, in his senses can do it. I will not, you will not, and nobody, I think he has any brains, will go and quote this disease for himself. But such went, the corona jihad and this and that, and then every single day the spokesman, the government spokesman started giving data for Tablighi Jamaat. So I intervened as head of the Minority Commission. I intervened, and my plea was accepted by the government, the state government, and also the central governments. Also the other states governments, they dropped it because it was giving a very bad message, not only against Tablighi Jamaat. Tablighi Jamaat people who were inside that center, inside that mosque, they were responsible. And anybody else who came into contact with them, he also may be considered to be a carrier or a suspect. But people who are far away in Tamil Nadu, in Maharashtra, in Himachal Pradesh, in Andaman, because just they had some contact with Tablighi Jamaat, you cannot say that they are also carriers. And being a Tablighi does not mean he is carrying corona. Why these people from outside, from Malaysia, from UAE, and such places were allowed by our authorities to come here in March, when everybody knew that this pandemic is already here, even in India. By late February, I think everybody knew that this pandemic has arrived in India. So why they were allowed? This should be an issue of a probe. How such people, not only them, I think our Home Secretary has said that during March, from 1st March to 23rd of March, 15 lakh people have come from outside into India. Why they were allowed? They were coming from areas which are affected, but still they were allowed to come in. So, the authorities also have a lot to answer on this.
As you mentioned, the state government, of course, accepted your plea and replaced that particular column in the daily, health bulletins of the Delhi government, where the community's name was, replaced by another more neutral term, if I may say so. However, if I may add, the LG also wrote to the chief minister asking him to initiate action against you. And also this comes at a time when your term, from what I understand, is supposed to be ending towards the end of July. So yes. What do you have to say about that?
No, I don't think that the LG has written himself. Some people, BJP MLAs, 8 MLAs went to him, and also some other people went to him with a petition that action should be taken against this man, this enemy number one. So what he does, anybody in his place, whether Mr. This LG or anybody else, will only forward. So what he has done, as I understand, I mean, the government does works like this. He forwards it. He forwarded it to the chief minister, and the chief minister also forwarded it to the lower functionaries in the state. I mean, some secretary or some deputy secretary. So this is the. I mean, it is not something that that it was by order of the LG, but simply a petition has been forwarded to the chief minister and from him to the administration. That's it. And they are going to issue me a show cause notice. And when it comes, I have not received any until now. When it comes, I will reply to it.
Right. And also, if I may add, on the other hand, there are a bunch of academicians and other leaders who have come in your support and issued a public statement as well. So do you think that was a little reassuring?
You see, not just a few. I should say that thousands of people have spoken around the world, not only in India, outside, academics, politicians, MPs, this and that, and so many people in India also, in Kerala, in West Bengal, in Delhi, so many people, all Muslim organizations, all big organizations, Jamaat Islami, Jamiat Al-Hadith, Jamiat Ulama, All India Muslim Majlis, I was a president for 3 terms earlier. All of them have spoken, because in the tweet itself there is nothing. And I should add here that some of the biggest legal luminaries in India have communicated to me. I don't want to name them, but I stand by what I am saying, that there is nothing in this tweet, and it will fall flat in any court, because there is nothing. I mean, this is something that is very strange, that a few lines can cancel all my work. On Al Jazeera, during the Kargil war, during the war itself, I defended my country for 1 hour live, and still people in the Arab world remember. When I meet people, they still remember how I fought for my country. But all this has been forgotten.
And just one last question, sir. As you said that, perhaps you're a writer yourself and your emotions were strong and you put this out, and that in the heat of the moment. Do you think the issue also, once again brings out the side effects of social media for that matter? Because, otherwise public memory might be short-lived. But, when it's out there on a public platform, we do notice that there have been instances one after the other, which tend to lead to a public outrage for that matter.
You see, I should say that social media does not allow you to say the whole thing. It's not an article. You have to write, even in a Facebook, you write just a few lines. So it does not allow you to elaborate what we really mean, what are your contentions, and what is the basis of whatever you're saying. And also, I very cautiously, I would say that the people who are indulging in social media, they are not of the highest caliber. I mean, they are people who are just interested in something and doing some little thing here and there. They have a lot of time. I mean, people who are professors, who are really big politicians, who are philosophers, they are not active on social media. Social media people who just don't understand, what it is. They don't even know the languages that they are dealing with. I'm sorry, I don't want to demean anybody, but this is the fact. And just keep forwarding. I mean, without ascertaining if it's true or not, what is its meaning, just keep forwarding. So it is also, in a way, it is a great boon. At the same time, it is a menace also, and it affects a lot of lives, and it demolishes a lot of lives unnecessarily without knowing them. People who have spoken against them, they don't know me. I just ask them.
And perhaps that's why you feel that it has deterred you from speaking up even in the future.
They have never met me. They have never seen me. They have never sat me. Just come and sit with me 10 minutes and you will know me. There are so many people. I mean, even in RSS, there are people who admire me. Even in BJP, there are people who admire me because they know me. But these people, I mean, what I can say, I mean, these people who don't know me, and I also doubt that their mental caliber is such that they will be able to understand sophisticated issues and sophisticated opinions. they just get aroused very easily and start threatening, I will kill you. I mean, this not only now, even before when I was editor of the Milli Gazette, people used to send me emails on phone and we will kill you. Okay, come and kill me. I'm not going away. I will stay here.
Right. So that is, on that note, in fact, a very fearless Mr. Khan, the Delhi Minority Commission chief, saying that he's not afraid, of all the charges that have been leveled against him, and he'll continue to perhaps, express his opinions in an unabashed way, and he's always done. Of course, the next date in the case
will all go away, and I will not stay at the head of Delhi Minorities Commission for long, just another 2 months. And I would like these people to just wait for 2 months. 2 months is not a long time. It's very small time and very short time in anybody's life. But still, if they want to continue this battle, I'm ready to fight them in the courts, not outside.
And the next date, of course, in the case is 22nd of June, which is when his interim protection comes to an end. We will be tracking this case, all the round. So do log on to our website and catch all the latest updates. Once again, thank you very much, Mr. Khan, for speaking to The Print. And thank you all for watching.